Live. All right. Good evening. Thursday, January 8th, 7 o'clock. I've been entrusted by Nathan to be the chairperson tonight, so looking forward to it. We'll get this done. Got a number of items on the agenda tonight. I wasn't at the work session on Tuesday, but what?
Two sessions.
3350 Erie Boulevard and 6200 Thompson.
And we don't have any schedule.
Nothing scheduled for the next one. Very good. There were meeting minutes distributed for the December 16th meeting. Anybody have any comments or corrections? No? Okay, do I have a motion to approve, Denny? Second for Bill, all in favor? Unanimous. Okay. So first on the agenda is the Dunkin' Donuts monument sign. Is there an applicant here tonight? Or not? Well, this was previously approved except for their monument sign, which was referred to the ZBA. ZBA came back with a positive approval for the sign, so it's returned to us tonight to formalize the approval of the monument sign. So I don't really think there's much discussion on that amongst the board unless there's any questions or comments. So there is a resolution that's been drafted. I'm going to read the resolution and we'll move this one along. So the Dunkin' Donuts monument sign. This is a motion to approve the freestanding monument sign as set forth in the plan by James D. Smith, architects, dated 10/28/25 with the following findings and conditions. This board has reviewed the SEAF of applicant dated 10/28/2025 and grants a negative secret declaration for this part of the project. The entire Dunkin' project was granted site plan approval on November 6, 2025 with the following condition. This approval does not include approval of the monument sign. That sign is currently non-conforming. It's under review by the Zoning Board of Appeals. Pending action by the Zoning Board of Appeals on the variance, the approval of the sign may need to return to this board for final approval, or if the variance is not granted, the applicant will be required to bring the sign into compliance and further review by this board will be required. The Zoning Board of Appeals, by decision dated December 15th, 2025, granted variances to allow an 8'2" high, 36.1 square foot monument sign, where the town code allows a maximum height of 6 feet and a maximum area of 20 square feet for the size of the monument sign. This board finds the sign otherwise in compliance and approves the refacing of the sign as set forth in the plan herein dated 10/28/2025. The approval dated November 6, 2025 remains in full force and effect, including all conditions and findings herein, except as specifically modified here. Any have a motion from Kevin? Second? Jenny, all in favor?
Jamie,
Yes.
just want to clarify, Sarah can vote tonight, right? Since we put here.
Yes, she's an alternate. Excellent.
Should, yeah.
Yes. So we'll mark in the minutes as alternate for you, because you are covering for Nate. Technically, right?
Big shoes.
Chair, yes.
How should I record your vote? I didn't see. You can also abstain too.
What's the proper term?
Yeah.
Aye.
All right. Let's see, that's you. Okay, very good. So next on our agenda is Marshall's Plaza in for a concept on their well, it's entitled painting, but it's regarding signage as well. So
There's no signage.
no signage? Okay.
There's only painting.
Just painting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I did, we do have our plan we submitted. I don't know if you have that. I did all that.
Right.
We have no signage we're doing.
You're putting
I
an
think-
area behind the signs, right?
We're painting the facades, of the building, yes.
Yeah. what was your name?
My name is James Baglioli. I'm an attorney with Ferguson Development. How do you think? So that was very hard to read. So I had our consultants blow this up. So the first page is that rendering, just all our new painting, working from PetSmart all the way over to K Jewelers. But if you flip to the next page, it shows the before and after as far as working over from PetSmart all the way to K Jewelers. Our basic thing is to refresh the shopping center in the same palette that's currently. So we're just changing paint. We've changed paint to Sherwin-Williams. They have different paint colors, but our goal is to brighten the center up and just repaint it. So working with Sherwin-Williams, I'm working from PetSmart over. You can see the different paint colors available on the first sheet. We're just moving across. Most of the tops stay exactly the same as far as the before and after. We are trying to lighten the underneath because it's very dark by moving the brick color to a neutral ground all the way across for the big tenants. Across the front, tops all remain the same. Alta remains the same. Moving across to Spirit, we just continue to remain the same. I know that's a temporary tenant. PetSmart generally and Panera generally remains the same. You move across the center, all those generally remain same colors. We're not drastically changing the color of the shopping center. We're just supporting.
You say you're changing the brick color?
Underneath, if you're not on that side, if you slide all the way over to the far side, the two big tenants on this side, PetSmart, that brick is literally red. We're looking to lighten that up into and that color is P3, which is neutral ground. And if you slide over, P3 is right here. And then Old Navy and Golf Galaxy get a similar treatment.
Is this considered then an as-built or is this a proposed? Because there's also another drawing from, I think, December 14th that we have. And I was unclear if that was an as-built or.
So we're not only the paint color. This is as built. This is what's existing on the bottom. This is what's proposed on the top.
Okay.
So we took this the bottoms and you see what the changes are to compare it. This is how it currently exists. This is the proposed painting.
Then you'd be painting brick?
Staining. It's a stain.
So it looks like you're staining the brick above Old Navy to be white.
We're staining. This is a color Old Navy is going to. Old Navy will go to P1, which is snowbound, which is an off-white color. That's not brick. No, there's no brick on the top. The entire top is this. So we're not staining any brick on the top. That's just paint.
Paint.
Yeah.
It's supposed to side, not the other.
No, it's the next page. It's the furniture that is on. Can you go to the next page?
What we have up there is slightly different, so what do you want to see on the next page?
Oh, I just wanted Jamie to be able to see also.
So I had this broken into smaller
Yeah, no, I-
sections so that you can, and it also labels the tenant spaces, because this is hard to tell where you are.
It definitely was all on one.
So basically, the first page is this cut up so you can read it.
Yep.
And the second 3 pages is the before and after. The bottom being the before, the top being the after, as you work across. I thought that'd be a better way for you to look at it than trying to figure this out when I finally.
Yeah, no.
Or look at
I
that.
appreciate that.
So the 4 pages make it much easier to take a look at it. Yeah, because when you get most over here.
Yeah, keep that.
So is the intent that anytime you have a tenant change, the painting schemes that we're seeing as part of this proposal, they're staying the same? Or are you proposing a palette of different colors that you'd like to use in different circumstances? Just help me understand.
Right now, we're just looking to refresh the entire shopping center. There are no new tenants. We're just taking the existing tenant spaces and repainting them. We have no plans to change any of these tenants in the future. We are repainting the vacant space. Our plan is to keep it that color. If we had to change it, we would come back. And that's where the Spirit Halloween is. I don't think they're there anymore. It's a vacant space. Our goal is to we switched brands of paint to Sherwin-Williams. They have a different palette, and we're just moving to Sherwin-Williams and repainting the building. It hasn't been painted. We like to keep that site up. We take good care of landscaping. We take good care of the buildings. It's gotten a little old as far as the painting. It's a little dark underneath, and we're just trying to brighten the shopping center up. But this is the palette we're looking to use for the shopping center. If we come back and change any of the tenants, we'll come back. But right now, we have no tenant changes.
So there really are no signage.
No.
No.
That would-
What we talked about is just amending this onto like the end of the multi-tenant sign plan, since it is a facade, but it's not actual sign.
It's actually,
Not a single sign is changing.
Yeah, that's a little different than we thought was happening, so I think we can just look at it as a straight site plan.
yeah.
Well, it's fine, there's definitions each store, but without, I mean, people,
I think the one that draws everyone's attention at first was
And
Uncharted in the black cornice banding. A pretty stark contrast, very stark compared to. And I understand the subtleties and the variations in the other facades, but that. So what would you propose as an alternative to that?
I think we have a gauntlet gray, which is the dark gray, which is used on some of the tops of the other ones that could go there.
I guess it's what's the white there too, because that looks like really stark compared to the other whites used.
That is
And
the,
it's such a, it makes it, I think that's one of the things we talked about signage wise. It makes it look like that whole white area where it says Uncharted is their building sign.
so that is giant, the sign hasn't changed, but
Yeah,
that is the same color as Old Navy. It is just the way it prints out, it looks bright. So that is the same snowman. That's P1. So that is not changed. Those two colors of it just looks, I think, brighter because of the areas. They want to make it off white, not make it all bright white. It's just a large area behind the sign, but it's not changing the signage at all.
that can be the same white as like the J. Crew and like.
Because I think with the J. Crew. J. Crew is P7. That's a Dover white. But Uncharted is currently white. The color is not significantly changing, and Uncharted currently has the black band. So this is your existing, we're not really changing this. Uncharted is white, brown, and black, and it is white, brown, and black. So
yeah,
that is,
I don't think we could find a record of you requesting that sign either. That might have been a couple of our questions because,
Well,
The
there's a
sign
difference
can-
between the sign
yeah,
and the facade.
Right.
The sign,
Right. but then it
But the facade,
like making it all white.
The backdrop
Like
behind
that was part of their sign.
it's not, the building facade is not part of the sign. I mean, the facade, if we remove that sign, the facade is the same. So I can put a different sign up there, that would be a permit. The facade is not the building sign. And that's not it.
it was painted at the time that the sign was permitted, but it
Right.
wasn't part of.
That, right, and so what the reason is that, and we've had a couple other people come in trying, like doing the same thing. They changed the building color behind the sign, so then their logo is now on the building, so it makes part of the building or part of the facade look like a sign. And so we haven't let that happen in other buildings, but with this one, if you're matching your whole color scheme, I think that we're fine with it, the way that you're proposing. Especially if it went down to like a gray instead of the black, because you don't even have black, well, it's the iron ore now,
that's
right?
the iron ore.
Yeah, so if you went down to that gray, it might have a little less
Yeah, we could change that down into gray.
show better.
That would be great.
Yep, so that would be the gauntlet gray.
Okay, so other than the painting schemes, you talked about staining the brick there are no other changes to the facade,
Nope,
storefront, it's all staying the same.
it's just color.
This, does this need any kind of referral?
And how many?
Not if it
It's
doesn't.
just a straight.
Just, yeah, I don't have any issue with that. If others don't have any issue kind of adopting, I mean, this is a one-time approval for the paint. If there are changes, then you come back through the normal process, so. I'll make a quick motion then. Wrap it up here
Sure.
on the fly. This is, by the way, before I do, what document are we actually referring to for approval and what's the date on it?
The one that you handed out?
I would say you should use the one I handed out since it has the blow up, it's easy to read. And that is dated 9/17/2025. It's dated 9/5/2025. Last revised 9/17/2025.
You guys.
And it's drawing 3472, color schedule 2025.
And then we just want to make that one change on the
Yeah.
black to the gray.
Okay. Just put it as condition. Sign it.
Okay.
Oh, you mean the sign and seal?
Yeah, but if it's just facade.
Jamie, you didn't say, boy, oh boy.
Painting.
Typically, we don't stamp,
Necessary, but-
yeah, typically we don't stamp painting plans.
Yeah, are you gonna put something in there, Jake, about changing Uncharted to the Terry?
I'll make a note of, yeah, so I think the motion is to approve the Benderson Development painting plan dated 9/17/2025. That incorporates the currently proposed painting types and their locations on the Marshall Plaza. One condition of this approval is that the Uncharted cornice band color will be changed to P10.
P14.
I'm sorry,
P14.
P14. Gauntlet gray.
It doesn't change any other signing approvals or past permits or.
Mhm.
That's not for that.
Yeah, please, no. Oh, this is the only modification, no further modifications to the site plan.
But we can have them submit maybe a new version of this showing the Gauntlet Gray, if it's the same date.
That's no problem. Yeah, I had to meet the date and I had to change the plan.
Yeah.
Yep.
And give us a digital and.
Yep.
And make that just an administrative confirmation.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, only 2 copies.
Yeah, okay, like your paper copies and digital.
I'll email it to you next week and I'll organize it.
okay, that's the motion. Do I have, or that's the other, I have a motion from Kevin, a second?
Yeah.
From anybody? Kathy, all in favor tonight? Let's see that.
Thank you. Have a nice night.
You're as well. See you. It's been a long time.
Let's see, it's been a little bit.
All right, I like it. Next on our agenda is Saab. Is there an applicant from Saab here?
Yes, I'm in the Zoom.
Welcome.
Anthony DePerno with Victory Sign.
Very good. We have a signage application. Can you just give us a quick overview of what you're proposing?
Sure, the sign is going to go over the storefront or over the office entrances. It's going to be similar in size, shape to the Northwestern Mutual sign. Yep, I just saw. There it goes. That's exactly where the sign is going, right above the glass doors. There is a building to the left of that, or to the right, if you're facing this building, to the right of the entrance, which is Northwestern Mutual, which has the exact same sign above the door. The sign is going to be facing Colomer Road. And it's a channel letter illuminated sign.
Okay, so I'm not sure if it's been communicated to you thus far, but the location of the sign isn't currently allowed without approved variance, given that it doesn't face the primary street of the property, it's facing Collimer Road.
Correct. Correct. And we do have an application in to see if we can get that approved. And they recommended we come to the planning board first before the zoning board meeting.
So there is an application in?
Yes. Or it's
There's-
in progress.
No.
We haven't received an
To the
application.
zone.
Before we can make a recommendation, we need to confirm that there's an
Right.
application to the
There,
ZBA.
there isn't.
We don't.
So the department is saying they do not have an application to the ZBA.
I believe it's if it hasn't been submitted, I know it's in progress, probably just finalizing it. But I do have an email from stating that we need to get approval from the planning board before we can get approval from the zoning board.
That is.
No.
So, this is Eric speaking. Tony,
Yeah.
I sent you an email, December 19th.
Okay.
Uh,
This was supposed to be a preliminary review, I guess you called it.
so the concept presentation.
Yes.
So basically, I did give the deadline for the ZBA submittal, which was 12/29.
Okay.
To my knowledge, our department has not received the ZBA application.
Okay.
So if we had that in, the planning board could have possibly made a recommendation tonight, but since we don't have that ZBA application in, they don't know exactly what to recommend on.
Okay.
Tonight will be you just kind of giving the overview. Once the department receives the ZBA application, we can schedule you to come back to the planning board to get a recommendation to the ZBA. Then you'll have to attend the ZBA meeting, then come back to the planning board for final approval.
Yeah, I'm sure Nora. Maybe it's the holidays. Maybe I got caught up in the holidays. But yeah, I completely understand where you're coming from. But I could check with Nora in the morning for sure and figure out where we're at.
So January 26th is the next deadline for the February 17th CBA meeting.
Okay.
So if you get us an application by the 26th, however. Yeah, just, if you can get us something by January 26th, then we'll get you on the 2/17
Okay.
meeting. And then we can try for the probably the 2/12 planning board meeting to make that recommendation.
Okay.
Need to go to county to.
Yeah, so the sooner you can get us to the BA application, the faster we can get stuff moving through the system.
Absolutely understand.
But in terms of the signage size. it's
Yes.
in compliance,
Yes.
Correct.
Correct.
It's
My
very-
understanding it is.
Orientation.
Yes.
Okay. I don't have any issue with the sign. I don't want to speak for the board, but I don't have any issue with it. Okay, then we'll table this until
Okay.
You can submit your application and then you'll be on for a recommendation of this meeting.
Understand.
Not the next meeting,
Sorry.
it would be 2/12. If we get it by January 22nd, then you could be on the 2/12 planning board meeting to recommend for the 2/17 ZBA meeting.
Okay.
Okay,
I appreciate it. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
reports. You're talking about first.
Yeah.
Okay, next on our agenda is multi-tenant sign plan for Pickwick Shop. Is there, is the applicant here?
Yes. Hi, I'm Steve Clark.
Hi, Steve.
Hi, Eric.
So,
I'll turn.
Steve on tonight is, it's a concept presentation to review your multi-tenant sign proposal.
Starting the meeting because I'm gonna share something later.
What's that? Oh,
I just jumped on Zoom.
Could you give us a brief overview of the proposed scope?
Sure, be happy to. What we're doing here is essentially replicating the signs that are in place now on the building and have been in place for many years on the building under a previously approved site plan. We have three sides to the building, one fronting on Pickwick Road, one on Genesee Street, the south side, and one exposure also on the west side of the building. We've got, I think, Eric, correct me if I'm wrong, we've got two variances in place, one for the west side and on the front, and that sign is approximately 20 inches tall by 156 wide. We also have a small swing sign in the front of the building, and I'm not sure that it's actually on the elevation. Small, it's about 2 feet by 3 feet at the most, and that also is under variance with the town of DeWitt. On the east side, so we talked about the west side exposure. On the south side of the exposure, which is on Genesee Street, we have one small sign. Right in the past, we've had two signs on Genesee Street, and one of the reasons that we're here is that the regulation now calls for one sign on facing Genesee Street. So we have one sign now. It's the dimensions are 16 inches by 72. It's a painted. All of these signs are painted wood signs, black letters with white background. Then moving to the Pickwick Road side, we've got actually four signs. One in the front, it's under tenant A, and that is basically replicating a sign that exists today and approvals for which exist today. That's 20 inches by 156 inches. And then we've got three tenant signs for our three shops, and tenants B, C, and D. And those signs, as they exist today, are 16 inches wide. In consultation with Eric, and we discovered that we would have to reduce the width of those signs to 12 inches to accommodate the state requirement that the signs be 80 inches from the ground or from the closest surface. So we're reducing those signs are 12 inches. Essentially, okay, there's a little bit of variation, but they're essentially all 12 inches wide by, I think it's 96. I can't read it here. Wait a minute. Bear with me. Yeah, by 96. And those are basically replicating the three signs that are there today and have been there for many years. And that's, I think, about it. What else can I tell you?
Just maybe a factual question. Confirm how many tenants are you proposing?
We've got four tenants.
Okay. And does the department does have a copy of the variance that he's representing?
Yes,
Is that correct?
Yep.
Is the swing sign, is that the one that's mounted out on the pole on the corner? Yep.
Kind of.
Yes.
That isn't variance, yes.
However, it's probably now in the state right away, be my guess.
Oh. Okay, but it's interesting.
I don't know if it was at the time that it was approved. I know the state's always taking more right away.
I can't hear that. I'm sorry.
Well, we're saying the sign you have the variance for, the swing sign,
Yes.
now is probably located in the state right of way. We don't know if it was at the time it was approved, but I think it's probably likely in the state right of way now.
Okay.
And does the variance just describe the orientation, or does it include the location and the sizes? Is that a
The
question?
one on the building.
You might want to talk a little louder, so.
I'm just trying to. One of the buildings doesn't have the size.
The variance for the one facing the boulevard got the variance for the location. The sign or the size wasn't mentioned for that. The swing sign variance was granted for a 16 square foot swing sign. And like Alana's saying, at some point, the state might have widened their right of way or taken more property. So that may now exist in the state right of way. They typically don't like fixed objects in the right of way. But without seeing a survey, it's difficult to tell if it is in the right of way.
We have not been notified of any state action taking or changing the boundary there at all. There's been no notification from the state of such a thing.
It may be on your property. I have that document you sent me from 1995, and there's kind of a hand-drawn survey. It doesn't really show the swing sign on there. But that could be something that we just ask DOT to kind of confirm.
Okay.
So, yeah, maybe we don't need to take up position on that ourselves.
We need more
So,
information on that
yeah.
first.
But what about, so I guess I just might not understand how many variances we have. Do they have a variance to have a sign on the east and the west and the south
It's
side?
multi-tenant, so they can have signs on the
Oh.
facade that faces the road. So the only variance on the building is for the one facing Erie Boulevard, essentially.
Little draws. Yes.
Okay,
But the other ones they can have by right.
Yes.
and then what about their numbers?
They're allowed one sign per tenant per street facade. So that front tenant, it faces East Genesee and Pickwick. They're allowed to have one on the East Genesee facade, one on the Pickwick facade. That west facade is also that tenant that has the variance.
They're allowed a number, the
Oh, you're talking
building,
about
the
the
building
address
number,
number?
yeah.
Yes, that is not counted as signage under our code.
Do you
Everyone's
know
required to
how
have-
large their numbers are?
They are large. I'm not sure if the code really speaks to
Oh, I
that.
thought we
There's a
did.
minimum size.
The
I'm not sure there's a maximum
Yeah.
size.
So,
Cause in the front, they're like the same color as they're really dark and huge and they look like you could hit your head on them.
I'm sorry, I'm missing that point. Which signs are you talking about?
The building numbers that are on the Genesee Street side.
So following signs are allowed in any district without a permit or site plan review. One prominently displayed building address sign that is visible to pedestrian and automobile traffic, not less than 4 inches in height, with a 1/2 inch stroke or as required by the New York State Fire Code.
So they have two and they're on two elevations as well.
Yeah, so we probably should just be one.
So, with regards to the signage and I live pretty close to this, so I drive by it frequently. I'm certainly very sensitive to the way this signage looks, how it appears at the street frontage. It has a prominent location. I will say that the signage that's there now, just to be clear, it's not grandfathered in. Even prior approvals, there is no record of those having been approved for the locations. That's my understanding.
I sent Eric a communication with Dick Robb in 1995 where we got approval for all these signs. Not the swing sign, but the rest. Locations, sizes, the entire package.
So the code.
Eric, is that correct?
I do have that document. We're pulling it up right now.
Hold on,
But Jamie,
hold on a second.
something to say.
Yes,
The code was totally rewritten in 2008 and 2009. And any non-conforming signs are not grandfathered. They had a 3-year period of time to come down. So we are working on that premise.
And this is an opportunity to really clean it up. And I mean, I think there's an advantage to your tenants too. So we certainly want to work with you to make that happen. I think the other real challenge here is that the signage as it's proposed isn't in compliance with the sign code based on where it's located essentially at the roof line. So, and I agree with that. I think
Not true.
I think you've struggled to find a location to mount it and even to get it properly mounted. So I think
It's not at the roof line. Excuse me. It's not at the roof line.
Yeah. But if you look at the requirements, it's required to be at least a foot below the roof and the soffit. And I think we're not in compliance. This is my interpretation. We're not in compliance with that location. So I think one of the questions that's come up is, what other locations have you explored for your signage?
There is no other location. Where on the roof? You want me to put them on the roof? I could put them on the roof.
How about on those sections of brick base that's just inside?
Well, they're not. I don't think I have enough brick frontage there, brick space to put a sign that's legible for my businesses. I don't think the brick frontage is workable in terms. I mean, one of them looks like might be between tenant C and D, but that's the only one. So one of the thoughts here is the signs as they exist are consistent and logical and legible, and and simple. Keep it simple.
Okay.
Is the thought. And they are not on the fascia. They're not at the roof line. They're below the roof line on the porch structure. And so I don't know. I'm here to help and to try to get through this process. So
Steve, the thing about the 1 foot, we did discuss that it needs to be 1 foot below the eave. And I thought that it was demonstrated on here on the plan, but now I'm not seeing it. But we did discuss that. And it seems like the one on the end, you definitely have a foot, I would say. But there is question about the other 3, because the code is clear about it being a foot below the eave.
mm-hmm.
I do have the photo that you shared today. Well, let me share this. I just have it back here.
You guys have any other questions that you want to add? I'd like you to propose that, ask the applicant to come back with some options as part of a work session to have a follow-up. We're not going to have this discussion tonight resolved.
Agree.
Yeah.
Maybe a quick review of the parameters of concern that we can send in writing. And then applicants can review some options and come to a work session.
Okay.
We haven't formally issued any comments, correct? Not yet.
No, this is just concept. Yeah. So Steve, this is the picture that you just emailed me today.
Yes.
Yep. So I understand you're making the argument it's not on the fascia, but I guess there's still the point of, is it a foot below the eave?
Well, we can look at that.
But yeah, it sounds like we may bring you in for a workshop.
Well, let's do that. And like I said, let's kind of go through these. I hear the applicant, he wants to work with the board, and we'll just here's the concerns, here's the code. Let's come back, let's look at the options, and also look at his position about where these are placed currently. And then we can arrange a workshop.
You're the first on the, in the first slot of the next work session.
If that gives him time.
Does he need to put
Okay.
anything else in the meantime?
Just some options.
Okay.
I'd like to see some other options explored.
Like,
It'd be for us to give that a list of comments about what the parameters are that we see.
yeah,
And then he can do some options.
Basically just the code sections that need.
Well, we can put that together.
okay.
So I'll send you basically a list of the applicable sections of code. And if you can explore some options and.
Well, now wait, somebody, you said, now I don't know everybody that's there. This is a Zoom meeting, of course, but you mentioned you were going to put together a list of parameters of concern. Is that what I heard?
Yes.
And you can do that for me?
Yes, we'll do that for you first.
Yeah.
And
And then based on that, we can have a work session and try to come up with a proposal that's acceptable.
right, correct.
Okay. I've got small business people here that are trying to earn a living. We provided space for what I consider an incubator plaza. It's a small business, 1 and 2 person operations. And people are trying to make a living there and have been making a living for many years. So I'm sensitive to supporting not only the building, but my tenants. And I mean, some of these people have been there for many years. The hair salon has been there for, I spoke to her the other day, 16 years. And so I'm hopeful that we can come up to with a solution that's acceptable, and that we can continue in business there.
As are we. We hope to help you showcase your building and your tenants. So we'll set that up. And
It's but I also would like to say that it's somewhat of a this unknown and parameters of concern. I hope you guys realize that it's somewhat of a cloud on my operation, on my building. It's a cloud on it, and so the sooner we can get through this, the better. I mean, either hopefully, I can remove the cloud and then continue. I mean, I've been working with Eric for over a month on this and trying to meet everything that has come up along the way, and I will continue to try. But I hope as long as you're aware that this is a small business operation. I've got very small tenants here, and anything you can do to help me continue in business would be much appreciated. And I understand your perspective too. So I'll try to work with you.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Steve.
Have a good evening.
Thanks.
Okay. Moving along. Next on our agenda tonight is a concept review of Sunrise Building Supply.
He's up to nothing different than what he's gonna open up. I think I have enough.
If you don't mind,
He'll leave you with you.
introducing yourself and your representative as well. Again, tonight is a concept presentation. This is the first time many of us seen this. So
We'll just do a quick run through. I'm
brief run
Mike,
through, yeah.
yeah, Mike LaSalle with NBL Engineering, working with the client who is on the phone. If we have any specific question, Joe, there on the phone.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Hi, Joan.
Yeah, you want to just scroll up a little bit so we can see the main facility. I gave you an aerial too, because sometimes it's a little easier to look at that quick. Obviously, you have the existing 1-story block building here. Existing parking lot that comes all the way back in here. You can see a little bit that we're changing. And then the proposal here is two smaller storage facilities, cold storage facilities for building material products. pole barn style structure. This would be more of a cantilever style structure. I'll show you some pictures of that as well. The building size here, you can see 52 by 96 and then 10 by 60. So about 5,000 square feet building. There's overhead doors on this face and an overhead door on each one of these faces. So the current really include these doors right here in this back warehouse. In the back is where their building materials are, kind of rack stored in there. Focused, and Joe can correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of the vinyl siding products, the windows, that type of facility that trucks lumber for decks and stuff like that. So that's their kind of specialty of sales around here, and roofing materials obviously too. So that's a big one. So currently, and you can see on that aerial, they do have outdoor storage in this area for shingles. A lot of shingles out there. Yeah, it is all fenced in currently. So the proposal is obviously he needs more indoor storage so we can keep more product here and not have to bring trucks there on orders and then send it back out again. So the facility is really delivery driven. Folks call, order vinyl siding, whatever it may be. They have 4 service trucks that kind of park out here with 2 drivers. So a truck would get loaded. When that driver's out, another truck would be loaded. So when he comes back, he literally just parks that truck, gets in the other truck, leaves again, and they can always have a truck ready to go out to a job. Typically, these are like 10-wheel flatbed delivery trucks that you see in a typical home building supply store. 10 to 12 outbound trucks per day is standard, kind of a busy delivery day. What you only see very minimal customers come to the store. This is the front door right here. So one thing when we did this, just to organize the outdoor storage a little bit, we have this huge parking lot that we didn't really need. It's not really used currently. If you go there now, you'll see just a kind of a sea of asphalt. So we did pull this gate from here and pulled it out here, then gained a little bit of expanded outdoor storage for your shingles, pallets, and whatnot. Again, all fenced in as well. What we typically see, and I asked the owner, how many people can come at one given time? 2 to 3 is a lot. 2 to 3 customers coming in. So you can see our parking is still more than enough. But if we look at our parking counts, we can kind of go through the breakdown of how we came up with those. They're down in the right-hand bottom corner there. We did it so you need 2 parking spaces per employee in like warehousing area. So we look at this, and he really has 4 warehousing employees. And then the front of house stuff, you have your front desk, and then you have a few offices in there, including Joe himself. They only have 7 total employees on site. So there's the 4 out back in the warehousing area, you have a couple in the retail, and then you have an office. So that's where you see the parking number comes from 2 per employee. That's for your warehousing, 8. And then we did 1 per 300 square feet for the remainder of the building. That's from the warehouse forward, where there's a couple, the office, there's the front retail area, and then just the contractors that could come in. So we come up with 31 spaces based off that logic. Way more than we need, but we did prove that we still have that by showing the truck parking, showing some employee parking in the fence, and then everything else outside the fence. So we do have
considering that in our code, other commercial enterprise for your parking calculation, the part that's not warehouse.
The 1 per 300.
Yeah.
I believe so. Yeah, I think that's what we. Unless there's something specific that fits it better. But again, going to the 7 employees, 4 out back, 3 out front is how we look at it. But
So the parking that's provided in the front outside of the fence line, that is 31 spaces?
no, the 31 includes our employee parking right here too. We talked about employees, expand the outdoor space. 2 trucks, hours are standard 7:30 to 4:30, Monday through Friday. And then the only other thing that's going on, so no power out here. We are bringing in power from the control out through here. That's where you see this line. And utility would be the only thing coming to that building is power. So it's a cold storage facility. And with the power, we do show a wall pack system of lighting, and there's a photometric in here now too that we can look at, but it's really security lighting. They're not open past dark. So it's really just security lighting is all we're adding. All dark sky compliant. We did change 1 fixture on the building that's there today. That's not dark sky compliant, so we did change this one back picture there. And then with these other 6 wall packs, we're able to give some good security lighting around here with no spillover. Down lighting. I think that really outlines the proposal here, so.
We did receive a lighting plan today, but we haven't been able to look at it yet, yeah.
Then you said there's approximately 12 trucks on a standard day. Where are those trucks stored on site?
No, 12 trips.
Oh,
So
trips.
out of those
Okay.
4 trucks that I was parking out here, and that 2 are out at a time, those 2 drivers, they could do that 6 times each.
Okay.
So that's the trips in and out. The other thing, so he has deliveries coming in, obviously, bringing like a tractor trailer load of shingles or whatever, and that we estimate about 5 to 6 per week is what he's getting. And I hope, and Joe can correct me if I'm wrong, I'm thinking with doing this, we're gonna limit that a little bit too, because now we have storage for the siding product in this building, that he can have a better variety and not have to order out of his other store and have it delivered here and then have it go out again. And that's my understanding, Joe, or there's a better.
That is correct. Part of that traffic count I gave you, Mike, is actually just intercompany, what we call transfers.
Right, so the transfers from his other facility out in Utica or whatever, bring stuff here before it goes out for delivery, but now we can keep a better supply of product in this building, so that's
The proposed storage building, the bottom left.
Yep.
Is that tight on the property line?
Let me just have a photo of that too. I believe our setback. So that's a 16-foot tall structure, the cantilever structure that you would typically see, and we are 44 feet off the property line with a requirement of 32 total, not less than 12. So you can see even if you used.
Oh, I'm misread it. 44.4. Okay.
And I have and this is his initial build focusing on. We talked about this as something in the future, and what that intention is for that Trex wood. The Trex type wood, the poly type lumber, would go in this storage building. It's but it's not. It's that. So.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. So there's 16 by 16 tall, the 10 wide, and it's really for this poly style lumber. Yeah. And the shading that you see here is really that this is all paved today that you're seeing. The only shade that you see here is the additional pave, and that's to be able to drive a fork truck around with 16 or 20-foot lumber to get into this. We just gave himself a little bit. Gave us a little bit of area to add on. And, but again, everything's paved now. The shaded area that you see here is the water comes and flows this way, goes into these 2 channels and continues on. So that's we got to do a little bit of pavement removal and kind of shim this pavement so the water goes around this building. Same thing's happening here. So you will see that will be our disturbance is what you're seeing in there where it's soft top and then replaced.
Have you started developing in the architectural elevations? So what's the?
Yeah, so there should be some in the set too of what this building looks like, hopefully. It is a different document, I'm sorry, yeah.
Is Mark on the call?
Yes, yeah.
So the second building, that's really a phase 2 future building, those are prepackaged units. So you pour the foundation and they bolt down, so they're pretty straightforward. But yeah, there's a architectural elevation, just not a lot going on in that, but it does give you an idea that it's got a clear panel of high to let light in. Because again, mostly during the day, it's hard to tell on this, but that's a clear panel. Very simplistic elevations with a door on this side, then a door facing the existing building, because that's where all the materials going in.
So if you are adding a bit of pavement in the back, you have to do your PJD with DEC. You have some soil disturbance.
Are you adding pavement or is it currently?
No, there's about a 12-foot strip. My understanding of the PJDs is if you don't have any purple in your area, and we got direction from Albany on this, is we do not have to get a PJD. They do not want everyone of them coming.
Oh, well, that's new.
Yeah.
And it changes all the time, but it depends on who you talk to. But I've talked to Krista right from Albany, who did all the training. She says, if you have no purple, You have no
They're
wetlands,
informational.
informational, and you have no wetlands, you have nothing in your area whatsoever.
That's new.
Yeah.
We had heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Well, that is,
So that's-
I can't.
Get it before they change it.
Okay.
So we checked obviously those mappings.
Trying to get an
Lock it
update.
in.
I would go reach out to Krista or somebody in Albany,
Okay.
because I think
Are you
anybody,
not hearing that from the local? also?
I get it different from each person at the local level. And with Mike.
Do you have it in writing from her on this?
Yeah, I did
Because
believe
that
so,
would be good for.
Yeah,
these
if you
departments.
refer that to us, that'd be great.
Yep.
Yeah, because then we have it in your file saying that,
You can do that for sure.
Do they give like a distance away from the wetland?
So I know, so like Onondaga County now uses like 500 feet, right? That's their rule to say, when we go do a septic for Onondaga County.
Yeah.
They say if you're within 500 feet of any informational wetland, of any wetland whatsoever, we might be involved. That's what we use there in Otsego County. What we, if I had something within 500, but I would have sent a PJD in for this. We overwhelm them. Obviously, that's what they're in that situation right now. And that's the discussions we had with them is like, you want us to send every project that we get to you guys.
Well, and that's what we've heard. Yeah.
We were like, yeah, we would
Urban.
inundate you, our town alone.
Yeah.
Because
Good thing like that.
everything.
There's 3 of them.
Oh, we're well aware.
So-
We're well aware, yeah.
So I did. I have something from
It's
Krista.
new.
Yeah.
That's actually very helpful. Thank you.
Sorry, maybe you asked this, but is there any change to pavement, square footage, pervious?
Well, there is that small, that's about a 12 by 40 foot strip. And if that causes any concern, we'll just pull this building forward, to be honest. So yeah, I would say it's actually more like 15 by 70 plus the triangle. That
How is the site currently draining?
it all drain, and so you go to the grading plan down one. So we had a full survey done. You can see this water's doing this and working its way over, and there's a ditch line that runs this way. And the same thing happens over here, ditch line along these between us and grid. And then between us and this property.
So
And
we'll
everything.
just, the engineer look at this and decide if he wants to see anything for drainage.
Yeah, absolutely. But you can,
Your electrical goes underground?
yeah, underground electric that'll come out of the building about right here. And then this is the only area where we're actually, there's a utility plan if you want to go one more sheet. To exactly where that comes out, right here. Electrical room is right here.
Can you just remind me again, just to clarify while we're thinking about parking, the part that's not warehouse, is that office or is it being used for some?
So it's office and then in the retail area. So most of the front of this building in here has like display units of windows. If you walk in there, you can see the windows, you can see different types of caulk, you can see the tape and the tie back, and there's some stuff that's out there for display, but also just like a contractor might come in and grab a couple tubes of tar, like that's on the shelf there. And then in the counter, there's a counter here as well, a retail counter.
Okay, thank you.
But this building, I believe, was Bosse's. Is that right, Joe?
It was a Church of the Living Word, which is down on the corner now.
Right, so there's a lot of space that, and Joe, correct me if I'm wrong, that's not really being used here either.
That's correct. There's there's a few empty office spaces.
We're gonna have to talk about that. I mean, office and retail are both 1 per 150 square feet. If you could kind of give us a breakdown of the building usage, square footage, talk about it, that would be.
Yeah, so yeah, we can go further than what we showed you here, where we did the 1 per 300.
A simple floor plan
Yeah.
might just solve that. We can show it. Then you can annotate it.
No, this is the building, this is the full storage building.
Yeah, I don't have these. We have them.
Yeah, so we can figure out the right count.
While we're talking about this, you could have, so you consider retail 1 per 150. Right? And office 1 per 150. And yeah, that's where we had. There's quite a large utility room. They have some equipment storage, or not equipment, material storage all the way back into here. And then you have your retail and then a couple offices. So we'll include all offices, even if they're not being used, obviously.
Yeah.
Mike,
What's that, Joe?
Mike, if I could, I don't want to get tripped up on terminologies or anything, but the word retail is being used frequently, and we are actually a wholesale business. And there is a small sales counter in the front where orders are processed and whatnot, but I don't know if the board considers that genuine retail, but I just wanted to make that point.
Right, and that's where we had the issue too, when we did the 1 per 300, we're like, okay, it doesn't really fall into retail, couple people a day. It's really a call in, or like I said, it's if you walk into, it's not like walking into an Ace Hardware and ordering or a White's, it's a little bit more specific than that.
Yeah, we cater strictly to contractors. We're, and we are registered as like a wholesale entity, so.
We'll pull the breakdown, we'll get
Yeah,
that.
we'll talk about it.
Now, and obviously, I don't think the town doesn't want just us to have sea of payments for parking that's not needed. You come out here, there's a lot of room, right? And the 2 or 3 people that are there at a time at max. When I was out there, I was the only car in the entire parking lot during business hours, so.
Is this figure here, is this showing the circulation?
That's showing to show that a tractor trailer can still get in and out with our new building there.
Do you, if we were to discuss putting, like if more parking is required, do you have an area where you could do reserve parking on site?
Well, I think we would probably just, we could use this area, continue to use that area and not have material storage there.
Right, but like reserve parking, you wouldn't have to actually build the parking. It could be a grass
Gotcha.
area that could be made parking if it was required in the future, but just would be designated
The
as.
back area.
Right,
Yeah.
they have 4 acres, so they have all the way back to the.
So you
grass.
can,
We can
put
show that.
up
as-
to 25% of retail and offices.
Okay, so you can show 25% of what we consider unneeded parking as reserve for retail.
The board would
Yeah,
agree.
Exactly, yeah.
So that might be something if.
I think maybe we're
determine
gonna look
that
at those
more
fund accounts, see.
Yeah, so we'll.
We'll just make that note. That's fine.
But he might even want to just show them in the areas that they have like a little storage here, right? Because he can use it for storage in the meantime, and then if we were saying, hey, you have people parking out on the street because you have so many people parking.
Right, you just move your storage up here.
I think
Yeah.
that'd be landscaped. It would have to be landscaped and reserved for future parking upon approval of the planning board, so. It would be like a grass area. or
Okay.
landscape area.
Yeah, so your back area.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's fine.
but we'll come to a number and then figure out.
Yeah, I'll be able to come up with a number very easily just
Okay.
based on what we're talking about. And if it's another 15 spots, as long as it's not more than 25%.
Yeah.
I'll show it out there.
Is the board okay with doing reserve?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't have any issues with that. I think my only other ask on the plan would be just to, I mean, you're clear about storage inside where those existing parking spots are. I would just be consistent about other locations on the site, blacktop, that needs to put storage.
Okay, I'll show it. I think, yeah, we can do that. So it's really, you can see the shingles that are really in this area, the shingles that are in this area here,
Mhm.
that will just show it out.
Any of those other employee parking spots, they are gonna have to be striped and meet the code for size and location. They are permanent.
Right,
spots.
yeah. These, and then he has to strike these.
Right. Okay, sounds like there's a review. There'll be some comments provided. Does anybody have any questions or comments? No?
Cut sheets of the lighting fixtures.
Yeah, I can give you one right now too, just so you have it, but I'll get it as that updated package, I'll make sure you have it.
And the relocation of the site fencing are you using in kind? What is it now?
It's chain link fence now, between all those properties. And our intention was just to continue to use that. It would be new, but it would be, matching.
So even at the front there, so that storage would be visible?
Yeah, this is visible now, so you can see through the chain link this way, and this way. But again, if you look at those aerials, they're all really warehousing or truck yards today, but
Is it black chain link or?
no, it's not slatted, right, Joe? No, I could see.
Correct, it's not slatted, no.
It's the other trucks. I have some drone videos too. We could bring it. What?
Are you adding additional fence or just?
Just the rest.
Well, imagine this piece of fence being moved to here, so you are adding this much. And we did that because we had a blacktop area, and we really want to put the fence because it's not being used for anything else right now. Just
There's no other changes to the building facade. Front of the house.
Only other question I have is, are you proposing any kind of new signage?
yeah, no new signage.
Just for the parking signs?
Right, we do have to, really, I did bring this in to show that, yeah.
Okay. I think we'll table this and there may be merit, any engineering or if there's any parking discussions for a work session. But we'll table that for providing the feedback.
But, okay, so look back at the feedback from and someone, and then, typically depending on that, then we'll get ready and then we'll get on the next agenda. So it might skip the meeting is typical probably. Is that?
Because today's the deadline for the.
Got it. So it'd be hard to get that.
Have it open somewhere. That's okay. Yeah, for the 22nd meeting. So if you get something by the 22nd, based on the comments we provide, then it can be on the 2/12. Unless we do a workshop, depending on.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
You
You too.
Okay, Tub Shed is next on the agenda.
Poor thing.
Anybody
Yeah,
here
we
for
cannot
Tub
fall
Shed?
asleep.
Yep. Good evening, Alex Ammering with Costage Engineering. With me is Chad Butson from Tough Shed. Obviously, we're before you due to the change of use. Tough Shed is looking to lease a corner of the property that's at 6485 Colomer Road. It is a larger property, about 4.6 acres. They'll essentially just be leasing about a half acre of the corner that I believe was formerly auto service business. Tough Shed essentially sells prefabricated sheds. They do make the sheds, but they won't be doing that at this location. This will just be sales. They will be renovating the building. We won't be expanding the building. Within the building will be a small office space, showroom area. And then outside will be some outdoor storage. The outdoor storage will be their finished shed products. We have kind of depicted those in the rear. We are aware in the BT Business Transitional District, it does prohibit front yards display. So obviously being on the corner, that is both road frontages. Aside from that, the site improvements are relatively minimal. They will be seal coating and striping off some of the parking in the front, so it's clear where employee and customers will park. That will include a new ADA parking spot right in front of the building. We have submitted some photo renderings of how the sheds would be arranged. Obviously dependent on what units are selling well. They do vary in turnover, obviously, as they're sold. From an operational standpoint, Chad can obviously talk better to that, but they only have 1 or 2 employees at the site at a time. We will be maintaining the existing entrances. We won't be adding any lighting. Yeah, and that's kind of it. I would like to acknowledge a couple things. Obviously, having multiple businesses on the property, we will be applying separately for a multi-tenant sign package once those details get worked out.
I'm sorry, Alex, can you excuse me for 1 minute? And I'm terribly sorry if I start coughing. Talking is making me cough this week. I'm the attorney. I had the opportunity to look at this project, and we've got a threshold problem here, a big challenge. There are multiple uses on this site, as far as we can tell already. That's not permitted in the BT zone. The back part of the parcel is being used for a non-conforming use. That whole construction situation,
What is it?
I don't know what it is, but it's some kind of construction situation. And then there's a couple of other structures and buildings. This applicant had been cited over the years several times for the various issues and that are present on the site. And I know that there's a list of them. Alana, I don't know that you're interested in the whole list of them, but there's a list of them. They're ongoing. They probably are going to be recited for them. This isn't going to solve any of the problems. And in 2019, this property owner came in to try to do a subdivision, which is a great idea. Because then you'll have different parcels and some different ways to deal with these situations. And they did not follow up with that. Now understanding there was COVID and whatnot, who knows what happened, but that just stopped. So the issue is, and I'm advising the board that this really is not something that can be entertained. And the use at all that you're proposing can't be entertained in its current configuration because it's another use on a site that already has a violation of too many uses, and the board cannot look at it separately, not the way it currently exists. And the owner knows they need a subdivision. They've known it for multiple years, so I'll be quiet. I mean, that's the gist of it. That's not everything. That's just the gist of it. And that was research that was done by me this week after this plan came in, and we looked at it in our pre-agenda meeting. So I don't mean to blindside you, but that's that is what came up.
So my takeaway from that is that this isn't really appropriate for us to review at this time until there's resolution on those matters, right?
Right,
Yeah.
and I think that they are resolvable, but you need to get with the owner.
Would some of that documentation be able to be given to us? Because I think that'll be important for Chad and his negotiation with the owner. And
Of course, yes.
correct, Chad.
Yeah, thanks, Alex. Yeah, it's unfortunate because as a tenant, we're just trying to improve this parcel for the city and make this a place that obviously the planning board would be more happy to have, but I do understand the concerns.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, we will send that, and we'll send it to the owner as well.
I think we can still achieve those goals after we fix these first.
Yes, yes. I think they're fixable, but they're just, it's just an overriding issue. It's been going on for many years.
Okay, so I don't know that there is a next step other than forwarding any of these documents to you, and
We'll forward it.
we'll forward along, and then just communicate with the department for next steps.
Yeah, well, obviously we appreciate that being pointed out early in the, well, I shouldn't say early in the process. Chad's been, I think, involved for quite some time now, but obviously we'll need to kind of draw the line in the sand with the property owner as far as who's responsible for what, and then hopefully we'll be back in front of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I remember driving by when there the Albert House, and it's like it's beautiful something and storage. It was like a good double wide back there. So the Google Maps up board second from bottom. Okay, okay.
You said this is separate from what you
No,
emailed
it's the
earlier.
same one I emailed you. It just has a Google Maps piece to orient everybody where we are on campus. Because I realized that when we're on it, we realized we had so many new members, so it's not a bad idea to introduce everything all over again. Well, the picture's old, but it's showing parking on the quad, which is not gone right.
I would say the floor is yours to give us your presentation.
Everybody want to go up, stretch, turn around, sit back down. That's all I do. Get some circulation going, muscles moving, push it through.
If you hear me snoring, it's just so you're comfortable as the rest of the meeting.
There's snoring going on. I'm Fred Dees. I'm the Director of Planning, Design, and Construction for Lemoyne College, aka I'm campus architect. And Tim Goldberg, partner with Appel Osborne Landscaper, my landscape architect. So I'm the owner. We are turning our attention to our recreation and athletics programs at Lemoyne. Historically, we spent a lot of money on our academics, and now it's at a time where our facilities need a little pick-me-up. And so we hired Moody Nolan out of Columbus, Ohio. They are athletics and recreation specialists. In my past life, I did 8 projects with them across the state, with this guy too. And they did a great job with us, and we did a master plan of the whole complex, which is over here. And I came in, and I think it was before the board roster changed, and we did a presentation just to kind of share what we're up to, and we couldn't have a full board meeting because then it'd be public and it's kind of private master planning information. But we shared it with everybody, kind of where we were going, what we're trying to do. And in the end, we decided that the first piece should be the one that would be used most by the students, the faculty, and everybody else on campus. So it's the recreation center. So with that, if we can go to the next slide, and I'll walk you through the project. So we're looking at doing an addition to our recreation center and also renovating the building. Most of the interior building renovations are not really under your purview, but I'm going to show them to you anyway, just so you can get a sense of what everything that we're doing, and walk you through the project. So this is Springfield Road here. It goes around here. Salt Springs is up here, and you can see that the parking is going on. Lot F does not exist. Thank you for approving getting our campus more walkable. The recreation center is right here. The event center, Flash Athletic Center is right here. This is the area that we're talking about. This is the gym. These are old racquetball courts. This is the pool. And then these are existing locker rooms. And this little mass over here is our existing it's a little longer than this, but that's our workout area for our entire campus. So what you'll see is that we're building an addition about 8,400 square feet in footprint that wraps around the pool. Basically within the existing curb line and sidewalk that are here. And then getting it to tie into the rest of the building and helping it form an entrance and tying the whole building. So we'll start from there. Any questions so far? Okay, stop me anytime. So I put in a plan, just so we can kind of orient ourselves. These are the old racquetball courts. This is actually today a multi-purpose room. That was a project that was done years ago. And then one is used as a golf simulator, and the other one's kind of hanging out. Nobody's playing racquetball anymore. This is the pool. This is the gym. This is the zone of those locker rooms, and this is the current workout area. The pool pretty much has solid walls all around. We're looking at inserting this sort of L-shaped addition over here to rebrand the front of the building. Redo the whole, move the workout area into that. It's has a first floor plate, and then it has a mezzanine on the second floor, and it's done basically so that the building designation doesn't change. So it is literally just a mezzanine. Otherwise, we're adding onto the building, which then we'd have to fire rate it and separate it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We are also fixing our track, which has these wonderful 90-degree turns or 45-degree turns over here with a concrete block wall, by the way. So God forbid, like you slip and slam it. So we're blowing that out. We're keeping it the same over here, but we're rounding out the corners. And then God bless Ryan Big Structural Engineers. They managed to get us some sprint lanes on this side. So I'll show you that too. Again, that's interior, but just so you can kind of get a sense of some of the work we're doing.
Gotta love Jamie.
Yeah. A face only a mother can love. The landscape. And the landscape. Oh, wow. And so sustainable, like right there. So the history is long before my time. We bought these set of plans from a developer and they built the building. There was no programming. We weren't consulted, and then this thing showed up on campus. Next.
So that means that piece of work is somewhere else too.
Several.
Yeah.
I don't know where, but
Every elementary school.
it's kind of like, artificial insemination. You have cousins. Is there anybody over there that I just want to
Yes, actually.
I think you're recorded. So actually, these guys have the construction documents, but we thought we'd use the PowerPoint for design just to kind of explain things a little bit easier without digging through a set of drawings that's like literally this thick. Do you want to talk about this?
Well, you were hitting a nail on the head. Essentially, this curb line, this is an existing drive that goes around the building. This is A lot, double A's in that back corner. So that existing entryway that Fouad was pointing to is about in this area. So you can see this white was the addition. So we were kind of charged with this cannot change. So that road elevation and where that road is to get back to double A lot and to get access to A. And then obviously from lower campus to upper campus, everything kind of happens right here. So being able to fit that addition within that curb line and then within the existing elevation of the building, that is where the majority of the addition went. So we do have the front of the building, and Fouad's got some, I think you got some
Yep.
elevation views to be able to show that. But so all of the landscaping, the paver materials that we're using, the benches, all of that kind of coincides with exactly what we did over at the athletic center entrance.
So not everybody was here for that, but when we get to the 3D stuff, I'll share.
Right. So it's not like this is acting as a separate building. The landscape palette, paver palette, site furniture, all that will match the other half of the building, which has already been approved. So they are a cohesive unit.
Is that the sidewalk coming from Grumman on the right side, like the main pathway coming?
Yeah, they're the ones.
Yes.
They're the ones that are coming down the hill.
Yes.
Okay, so
The
that,
hill is literally right across the road. Yeah. So that's when we talk about grades, and so you've got the building floor elevation, that's not changing. The hill comes down the road on the other side, and then it's what's left. But you're between a rock and a hard place. What this is doing for us is it's doing something that we always been suggested in our master plan and from feedback on our campus. Everybody says, oh, up the hill, down the hill, up the hill. It's like we're trying to bridge the hill. So we're hoping at some point that we'll build a nice terrace at the top of the hill with Gruen to get you closer to where the hill starts. And then here, this addition gets us closer to when you get to the bottom of the hill and you can cross the road, get into the arcade and get into the tower, which again, our master plan suggests that our entrances and buildings should have towers to identify them that are different from each other. In this case, it's a glass tower, and you'll see in the night images how it lights up at night. Material palette is similar to down the way, which we'll see in another slide in a minute. Just hold it there for me, because I want to describe what's going on. It's a limestone curtain wall panel. Anodized aluminum curtain wall. And that's it. That's not signage, by the way, that was just to show our donor where his name could go. And when we actually know and they agree where they want it for their $1 million, we'll let you know. So basically the entrance comes in here, there's a lobby, and if you go straight through, it runs with a spine that is, the gym is to the left, pool is to the right. You take the right-hand side, you get to that multi-purpose room, or you can continue on to the event center. If you go to the right, you come into our new addition. We've got all kinds of workout equipment and strength training on the first floor. And the second floor is all aerobic type equipment, whether they're ellipticals or.
Right.
So. Oh, that Dwyer Center facade, by the way, that faces right up the hill. So as you're coming down the hill, that's why that's there, so that you can see what's going on. And we have all this curtain wall, so. I mean, our students are here at this time of year when it's pretty much dark out at 4:30. So it's nice as you approach this after classes to come work out, etc. The building is all lit up at night and you can see what's going on. You can see people doing things and.
They're still gonna have to put film on it.
And it's still Catholic safety.
Doing it.
We have some private areas and we also will renovate the one in the back so that the people who want to work privately and not be next to the. Go back there and work out in peace. That's please. We can keep going.
Okay.
Yep. So that's kind of what, we're talking about. Materiality is the limestone panels, and I lied. We do have a silver metal panel, kind of mimics zinc a little bit, and that's what's running here. Where the curtain wall is all anodized aluminum, so that we don't add a finish. We think about sustainability. If you don't need to add paint to something, we don't want to use it. We are going to have a little bit of a green roof. These are old. Head of security won't allow us to have doors that open onto the roof that people can climb onto, so that's gone. But it has a nice filter, so you can get into the arcade, get into the front, etc. Next.
So the guardrails are what's old. Like
Yeah, they're gone.
Yeah.
They won't be. They're not on the construction drawings, so I just want to let you know that. Yeah, you can keep going. Some of the night views. So they have, we have LEDs that are hanging inside this tower. There are some of these vertical wire hung long light fixtures, and they can change color. So they had them in Lemoyne green. I have a feeling once they go up, we won't be changing any colors, but
yeah,
it can change colors with the seasons. And then to give everybody some perspective, because everybody's like, where's the brick? Well, there's plenty of it still left. And as you go around, there's more bricks. So to put it in context, here's the event center. And you can see our sort of mimic zinc panel, which is aluminum, and our limestone, and our anodized aluminum curtain wall. And then, where this is dealing with a huge span, that's a little bit more intricate building, a little smaller, more glass, so that you can see what's going on. Next. Floor plans. So as we discussed, here's the tower. You come in, you're met at a front desk, turnstiles, juice bar, some offices that we reconfigured that we had. That's the spine I was talking about. That's the way to the event center. And if you come around here, we've got some table games. We have fitness, workout. We added a wet classroom off of the pool. We applied for one of those swims grants, but we didn't get it, but we're still going to renovate the pool area anyway. Some storage and a lifeguard office. And then all of the pool mechanical equipment and chemical storage, which is not being done well right now. And it's like hollow metal frames are just like biodegrading in plain sight. Totally to the exterior, not to the interior. The doors only go out. Next. Just to see it in 3 dimensions, so it's a little easier. Coming right through here, you can look into the pool. These windows are actually existing today. And then this is the weight training, strength and fitness. There's a stair at the end to connect the mezzanine. Yes, please. And then this is the line of the mezzanine. So it's literally just this portion over here. And then this is open to below. Next. And then there it is in 3D. We have a little Zen zone here. No more terrace. That was a fight. I decided I'm not going to buy on this hill. We got rid of it. We have a little lounge and then the cardio equipment, so you can kind of look out. And the windows are sort of beyond the railing, which is kind of cool. You can look up at Grow and you can see Riley. You can look at the Jesuit residence. It's a pretty hill. Yeah. The gym, we're just reflooring and striping. This is all the striping that everybody asked for. I doubt they're going to use for all these things, but again, it's
They
okay.
just asked for fencing, striping at our campus. Fencing?
Yeah, we have it too. And now we're about to have a bowling team. It's okay. I'm just the architect. I built the space. Next. The big deal about this is the track, which is gonna make it a lot more usable. And I think we'll get more people in the winter walking in here.
Yeah.
Next. And keep going. Going.
Is it at a different level? Is the track
The
above?
track is above.
Nice.
And it's above the corridor on the one side,
Mhm.
but then on the other side, it's suspended from the trusses.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so most of you probably know and do it. JPW is right on Thompson Road, right down the hill from us. And they were trying to figure out, I'm like, could you just call them? And they're like, oh yeah, we can do this. So we're good on that. Our locker rooms are just a total mess. So we're totally reconfiguring them. We redid the restrooms so that they're directly off the corridor. We've gone to public lockers out here and changing rooms and single-use shower rooms. Yes, we took gender out of the restroom.
Yeah, I got.
Single use, not my war, single use. And then we have the swim team locker rooms. And then we have other locker rooms, gendered locker rooms that could then be used for like a visiting team. If you don't have enough in the other building, or we can put them together, or what's on the drawings that you have shown here is there are some doors here now and they can come in and out from here if they need to. If we need to shut this for them to change it, just adding flexibility. And that's a 3D of that. That's the project.
Nice.
Yeah. Questions? You're gonna come back again, because that's just the first of probably like 5 projects on this complex, so it's just gonna keep rolling. And we already have donors that are ready to write checks for the next edition, which is gonna be the strength training for the athletes. So it's moving forward.
Gonna get an NIL team over there?
I don't know. We talked about it.
Yeah, I think it's a nice project, really nice project.
Yeah. You can go back to.
I know that.
Sure.
I think the only initial comments that have been communicated are on the engineering side were from Mark, and Mark. Mark's still on, he could probably articulate those right off the bat, but it keeps popping up. We tried to get rid of it, but it keeps.
Yeah, we'll go over. There we go. Their track is on the second floor.
Mark, are you?
Yeah.
You want to talk about the drainage at all here?
Yeah. I mean, there is an additional impervious area being made as a result of the project. It is in the Lake Creek drainage area. So there is the need to comply with that and mitigate the additional runoff from that, because it does drain down to problem areas on Erie Boulevard. So we're going to need to see some kind of stormwater plan to provide the mitigation that's required by the code.
I only pick colors. So.
It's not a problem, Mark. If you remember that they have an acre-sized pond the facilities building where their drainage from this entire project goes. The only additional impervious is about 7,000 square feet. So you're looking at 0.16 acres for that whole watershed that goes into that existing pond. So it's pretty negligible.
Okay, and that's fine. I'm glad you've got a plan or the ability to address it. So.
Would you like a letter that says that?
Well, we'll need. I mean, we'll need some calculations or something to back up that you're, maintaining the flow rates as needed.
No problem. And I did send in a parking letter. Because we always talk about parking and are we at a square foot? We always agree that you don't want us to just pave our entire campus and parking for all of DeWitt. So,
So what's the letter say?
the tack with this one, because I'm gonna come back to you and ask you for a parking lot later, but it has nothing to do with this. The tack with this one is just because I'm adding square footage to this building, my population isn't growing because I'm providing more workout space. It's the same population. And so we have no intention of adding parking with it.
And then your lots aren't currently full.
Correct. However, different discussion, I'll come back later so you don't call me a liar when I come back. We're gonna be moving our occupational therapy program from downtown Syracuse back to campus. And so we're gonna be looking at adding some parking at the other side of campus. So I'll come back and we'll discuss that. But for this,
How about like the visiting team buses and their transport? Is that strategy changing?
Not for this. They still park at the back of the drive by physical plant colors. Those facilities now more modern. They park on the other side. And then when we have events at the turf field, for example, or a game or something, we put out an announcement to say park on the other side of campus that day, or be out by a certain hour, or come back to the other side of campus parking lot so we can free space for. We're a little more nimble than other campuses that are larger.
Do you guys have like a tram or do you have any kind of, transportation shuttle for students to get there?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, so
My letter
now for the students.
And my letter reminds everybody too that like when somebody breaks their leg, they just call security and a security car picks them up and takes them to class.
Yeah.
We're Lemoyne, it's like busy. Somebody wants to believe it, but that's just, we're different.
Different but the same.
Yeah.
What's your timeline for approvals?
We want to start construction June 1st.
Okay.
They actually have the drawings already for a building permit, so we're just, if there are some changes, we'll
Really
do.
small drawing.
I think the only thing then is to probably answer Mark's concern.
Yeah. There was one area of slope, Mark, you were worried about also.
Again, the town's code requires a maximum of 4-on-1. There is a little bit of an area with 3-on-1 slopes. I think it could be addressed just by moving over some the stormwater a little bit and reducing that slope. Yeah.
Wait, where's the slope, Mark?
You'd have to pull my plans, but let's just say everybody knows the upper and lower campus, right? That hillside that's between there, that's a 1-on-3 slope that's mowed by the college right now. So it's not like they're unfamiliar with it.
We actually have that special machine that has 8 wheels that mows it, but it's not. It's a wildflower mix now. You probably don't know that. I planted wildflower because we let it grow as a meadow, and I have signage to tell everybody about the butterflies and everything that's coming and going. And we mow it twice a year.
You guys don't have a Roomba mower? The little we do.
We don't have the kind of money you do. We talk about.
There's more money.
So this is the grade between the existing road and that building. Obviously, the finished floor has to stay the same. So that finished floor is pushing out. This is the road elevation that's staying the same. So this is just 1-on-3. So what Mark's talking about, if I have to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 slope, I gotta push this out a foot. This low spot now is getting like real close to the building. So it's not ideal. It's kind of like right where I want it to be, but like I said, this whole entire slope is a 1-on-3. But
So if you put the rest of it to wildflowers, are you gonna put that to wildflowers? To stay consistent with people not walking on the slope, or do you think that you'll try mowing that for a bit?
well, what's funny is that why you guys have a code. Why do you have a code for 1-on-4? It has to do with mowing, right? It has to do with mowable slopes. Now we have mowers that mow 1-on-3 slopes, and they are mowing their 1-on-3 slopes now. So it's like,
I think they've asked for you to go get variances in the past for this type of thing. I think you can address it by just moving that drainage inlet a bit towards the building. And you don't even need to move. I don't even think the I can't read that quite, 540 contour maybe. I don't even think you need to move that.
I like my
towards the building.
power mix. I can put that there.
Well, but
It'd be
if
nice
you
to
get
look
the
at some
variance,
windows.
I don't,
Well, we gotta check with Jamie to make sure she's got enough stuff in that foundation that we can found right there.
yeah.
Because the curtain wall is going down to grade at that location.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah, it is.
But you guys have the time to get the variance if you had to, because there's stairs going up to it and stuff.
No, they're not stairs.
There's no stairs.
Block, what are those?
This is just a crosswalk, this is
That's
just
okay.
we're just repeating.
It's about a 6-foot drop then from sidewalk down to.
1, 2, 3, 4 foot.
You know, without the addition there, it's more graceful to get to the pool. But now that you've taken part of it, it's pushing, the slope is getting steeper.
It just gives the kids someplace to slide and it's not into a road like it is on our campus. I almost got hit by somebody.
I have to be careful because that's my alma mater over there too, so. I'm really not opposed to doing.
I have no problem, I'll massage it, yes, have you take a look at it, see what you think.
Okay.
So again, obviously, this is an elevation, that elevation, that's what we got, it's a low spot.
Like guys, the guys would be so happy that they don't have to mow it on a regular basis. They love when we build all the no zones. Other thoughts, questions,
Yeah,
comments?
I think that
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
nice project. So starting in June, assuming ready for the next calendar year, and then what's the next project?
No, 18 months. We're trying to hold back our donors. They want the other one started. I'm like, oh, no. This one opens, then we start the next one. We're not, let's slow down. But the campus can only take so much of that. And this is gonna shut down that road for at least a year. So we won't be able to go from either side.
You're not gonna do the design while this is in construction, so you can just
Of course
roll
I
right
will.
into the next one?
How well do you know me? Come on.
Okay.
I don't go to sleep without a plan for the next day. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Great.
Thanks for your time.
So, you gonna come back 2 weeks or?
So we fixed the deadline to the 2 weeks, but if you can deal with the drainage and get everything all set, then
I'll take
the
it.
22nd is our next deadline, and the Tuesday meeting, I think I said. So we can get you on that one.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you very much.
Great, thank you.
Always nice to see you guys.
With the name, Tim.
And that's fine with the signage. It really was just to show the donor. I don't think it's even on your drawings. It is, say we're excluding signage because we have no intention of
We can
doing
make
that.
it.
Yeah. We can talk when it actually clicks. And that's not it.
Okay, do we have a motion to adjourn? Oh.
Oh, we gave up.
I saw it.
Like, all right.
Oh, because Nate's not here, right? All right. All in favor, approved, okay? Good evening.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay.
Sir.